Welcome to another episode of Pandemic Apparel. On today's episode, I'm going to show you some sewing exercises. So what you want to do first is remove all the thread from your machine. Place the paper underneath the presser foot. Keep the presser foot up and put the needle into the first line. It's a lot easier to see. Then start sewing. What you want to do is pump the pedal and just, give a couple of stitches, like 3, 4 at the max. And you don't want to do a continuous stitch because you won't have control of your stitches, and you could just go stitching somewhere else off the line. So when you get to the end, you can use the hand wheel to guide it towards the end. Then continue on and continue stitching all the lines, and you'll see as you go your stitching will improve. So this is what it's going to look like. It's going to be perforated like this. So again, you're going to put the paper underneath and guide the needle into the end of the line, and you're going to start sewing. When you get to the end, you're going to use the hand wheel and you're going to guide it towards the end. If it doesn't get towards the end, you can lift the presser foot and then push the needle down and pivot, and you might have to use the hand wheel for these few stitches. And you may want to count them, so when you get to the other side, you know how many stitches you need to get to the other end. And again, you'll lift the presser foot, put the needle down, and pivot. Now these are all basically the same. You're going to be doing the same repetitive motion where you're going to stitch on the line. So if you see where the line breaks up, you're going to have to stop at the end and continue sewing till the end of the line. This is a fun one to do. I did this one all the way to the end because I like it. What it is, it's a square, and you're going to do kind of like a maze type sewing along here. And I'll be showing you this on muslin as well. So what you do is you're going to sew around the square and pivoting at the corners, making sure to put the needle down at the corner and pivoting it. When you get to the end, you can put the needle down and you're going to raise the presser foot, and with the needle down you're going to pivot, and you're going to use the edge of the presser foot as a guide. So it's going to be a 1/4 inch distance from the main to the other one, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. You're going to have this little maze type of pattern on the paper. And the same thing goes for this. You're going to stitch along. When you get to the end, you can pivot, and you're going to use your presser foot edge as a guide, and you're going to go along, and this will help you with the curve of this shape. So it's really good practice for curves. So this is just like the other ones, except these have curves. This is good practice for stitching lines that are not going to be straight, because you're not always going to have straight lines. If you come across a big curve, you're going to have to put the needle down and start pivoting until you get to the end, or until you get to a straight line. Then you can start sewing again. This zigzag stitch is great for pivoting and going around corners. The rest, I'm not going to show all of them, but the rest of them are basically the same. You're going to sew on the line. If there's no line, there's a gap, just skip over the gap and continue sewing. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Keep practicing, and I'll see you guys next time.